The first step in using wood plugs is to drill a counter bore. It's just a pilot hole for the screw with a countersink that recesses the screw head below the surface of the wood. You want the screw head to end up at least 1/8 of an inch below the surface. 1/4 inch or deeper is even better because it ensures that the wood plug will seat well in the hole. Then drive in the screw. Now adjust your drill press to medium speed and set the depth stop so the plug cutter will stop about 1/2 inch into the wood. You can cut plugs pretty quickly. Just hold the workpiece, plunge in the cutter, withdraw the cutter, shift the workpiece, and repeat. It's fast and easy. Now the plugs are ready to install. Just take a screwdriver, fit it all the way down into the cutter area, and rock it back and forth to break the plugs free. Now to glue the plugs into their holes, here's a little trick. Fill up one of these empty plug holes with glue. And that way you can use it like a glue reservoir. Now dip the tapered, narrow end of the plug into the glue about halfway. Set it in position. Then push it down the rest of the way. The reservoir helps keep your fingers clean of glue that way. Now normally I don't have to hammer the plugs down into their holes, but if they feel a little bit loose, I'll put another one in here. Just give them a couple taps with a hammer and a dowel. That's it. Now wipe away any glue squeeze out from around the plugs, and you're ready to trim off the excess. If you have a multi-tool like this with a wood cutting blade, they're excellent for trimming wood plugs flush quickly. But if you don't, use a flush cutting saw like this instead. They work great too. Either way, I like to have a spacer between the wood and the saw blade just to keep the wood from getting scratched in the process. Here I've got a piece of scrap brass, but I've also used scraps of plastic laminate or even old plastic gift cards. Just drill a hole through your spacer that's larger than the diameter of the plugs you're cutting flush. That way you can set your spacer in place over the plug, set your saw blade against it, and trim off the excess. Now sand or plane the plug flush with the surrounding wood, and you're done.
If you are going to be making your plug using a drill and not a drill press, you are going to find that that drill wants to skate around across the top of the timber. What I find is I just make myself a little jig, line it up, and I'm going to drill through those holes into that timber, and that's going to act as a guide for my plug cutting.